Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on dynamics of machines. In this module 2, we were discussing on balancing of loading masses and balancing of reciprocating masses. So far, we have discussed how to balance a single loading mass with the balancing mass loading in same plane, how to balance a single loading mass with the balancing masses loading in different plane, and how to balance several loading masses with the balancing mass loading in same plane. Continuing our discussion, from today we are beginning a new topic, that is balancing of several rotating masses which are rotating in different planes. I am giving the solution for the question bank which can be accessed through the link given in the description. Kindly click on the link given in the description to get access to the question bank. For that question bank, I am discussing the solution in this lecture series. As I already discussed, whenever we want to balance the rotating masses loading in same plane, a single counterbalancing mass is enough to balance it, and the several masses or the system of masses are said to be in balanced if it satisfies static balancing condition, that is sum of centrifugal forces must be equal to 0. But whenever we want to balance several rotating masses which are rotating in different plane, we require two balancing masses, which we have already seen when we solved a numerical problem on balancing a single mass with the balancing masses loading in different plane. So likewise, from today we are beginning how to balance the several rotating masses which are rotating in different planes. For balancing the system of masses which are rotating in different plane, we require two counterbalancing masses, and this should satisfy dynamic balancing condition because these masses are rotating in different planes. That is, the sum of centrifugal forces must be equal to 0, and also the sum of couples must be equal to 0. That is, it should form a closed force polygon and the system of masses should form a closed couple polygon. So keeping in this mind, let us learn how to balance the several rotating masses which are rotating in different planes by taking numerical problem itself. So problem number 1 of our discussion on several rotating masses rotating in different plane states that 4 masses m1 is equal to 100 kg, m2 is equal to 175 kg, m3 is equal to 200 kg and m4 is equal to 125 kg are fixed to the crank of 200 mm radius and revolve in planes 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. The angular position of planes 2, 3 and 4 with respect to 1 are 75 degrees, 135 degrees and 240 degrees taken in the same sense. Determine the planes 2, 3 and 4 distances of the planes 2, 3 and 4 from 1 are 600 mm, 1800 mm and 2400 mm. Determine the magnitude and position of balancing masses at radius 600 mm in the planes L and M located in the middle of 1 and 2 and in the middle of 3 and 4 respectively. So if you carefully observe the problem, he himself has been specified the distance between the planes. Since the distance between the planes are specified, and also is clearly stating the masses are rotating in planes 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they are rotating in different planes and the distance between the planes are also specified. So it is clear that the several masses which are rotating in different planes, and he is stating that it is to be balanced with two masses which are rotating in the planes L and M. So two counterbalancing masses has been employed here for balancing. We want to determine what is the magnitude as well as the direction of these balancing masses. So once again I am repeating, I am giving the solution for the question bank which I have attached through the link given in the description. Kindly click on the link given in the description to get access to the question bank. For that question bank, we are discussing the solution in this lecture series. So moving ahead for problem number 1, if I move for solution, as usual, kindly draw or kindly lay down the tabular column in step 1, that is the tabular column same as how we have employed for several rotating masses which are rotating in same plane. It involves masses. First column contains masses, the unit given is kg. Second column should be radius. Here the radius are specified in millimeters. Since the RPM of crank is not specified, I will take Fc by omega square, which is equal to m into r. This we already know. So this will be of the unit kgmm. Now finally, for balancing of several masses rolling in different plane, we should go for couple polygon also. Hence next column will be distance from RP stands for reference plane. I will tell you what is reference plane. Let us take it as L, unit will be in millimeters. So now we know that couple is equal to force into distance. So therefore couple divided by omega square will become m r L, unit will be kgmm square. Kgmm square, correct. Now he has specified the masses. So mass 1 is specified as 100 kg. So m1 is given, which is 100. Mass 2 is also specified. m2 is specified as 175 kgs. m3 is specified as 200 kgs. m4 is specified as 125 kg. And he is asking us to find the balancing masses and their directions, that is m5 and m6. We don't know what is the value of m5 and m6. So this is the given data about masses. Now coming for radius, all are fixed with the crank of 200 mm radius. So the radius is constant for the rotating masses, which is 200 mm, whereas the balancing masses are at radius 600 mm. So it is 600 and 600. So this is about the given data for mass and radius. Let us lay it down first. Okay, I have noted down the given data about masses and their radius. Next, he has specified the angular position. So as we already know, we should go for space diagram to specify the angular position. So therefore, if I draw space diagram, all the angles are specified with reference to mass 1. So therefore, I will take mass 1 as horizontal or as 0 degree. This is because of the reason he has specified the position of all the masses with reference to mass 1. Now with reference to mass 1, the angular position of 2, 3 and 4 are 75, 135 and 240. So this 75 degree for mass 2, 135 degrees for mass 3 and 240 degrees for mass 4. And about L and M we don't know. Let us put it arbitrarily and find out what is that angle. Put it wherever you want. Let us find out what is these angles. Let us take this as L, this as M. So these two are unknowns, whereas these angles are already given. This is 75 degree. This is 135 degree. This is 240 degree. And these two angles are unknown. I should find theta 1 and theta 2, or theta L and theta M. That is with reference to mass 1. Let us take this as M. Mass rotating in plane M, mass rotating in plane L, which are unknown for us, which are nothing but M5 and M6. So we have used M5 and M6. Let me write it as M5 and M6 itself. Why to get confused? It is M5 and M6. So this is about the angular position. Now he has also specified the distance between the planes. So therefore, next step is to lay down the distance between the planes. Let us call it as planes, or we can also state it as position diagram, which gives the distance between the planes. Plane bracket position diagram. So these masses are rotating at planes 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have 4 planes. Let us have 4 planes, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 planes are there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Distance between planes 2, 3 and 4 from 1 is given, which is 600, 1800 and 2400. So 1 to 2 is 600. All dimensions are in millimeters. And 1 to 3 is 1800 and 1 to 4 is 2400. This is the distance between the planes given for us. The balancing masses are located between 1 and 2. So between 1 and 2 we have one plane called L. This plane is termed as L. And between planes 3 and 4, we have one more plane called M. On these planes we have the unknown masses M4 and M5 rotating. It is M5 and M6, sorry, M5 and M6 rotating in planes L and M. So this is what he has given. So just I have noted down the given data. Let us solve this problem. Now in order to move for solution, first let us complete the tabular column. We have 200 into 100, which is 2 into 10 to the power of 4, that is 20,000. Next we have 175 into 200, that is 35,000. Next we have 200 into 200, which is 40,000. Next is 125 into 200, which is 25,000. Next we have 600 M5 and 600 M6, which are rotating in planes L and M. So this is about the calculation. Now how to move forward? Now if I carefully observe the force column, how many unknowns are there? For visual inspection it seems to be 2. No, actually there are 4 unknowns. That is magnitude of mass M5 and also direction of M5, which is not known. Next, magnitude of M6 and also direction of M6, which is unknown. So totally we have 2 plus 2, 4 unknowns are there for us. So we cannot solve just by using the force polygon. Now we have one more hint with us, that is we can make use of couple polygon, because this is several rotating masses rotating in different plane. It should satisfy dynamic balancing. That is, I can take the reference plane. I can take a plane as a reference such a way that I should eliminate one of the unknown. If I eliminate one of the unknown, obviously the 2 unknowns will be eliminated, that is magnitude as well as its direction. So we have 2 masses and their directions as unknowns here. Therefore, if I eliminate one among these 2, I can go for couple polygon. The couple polygon should be a closed one, so therefore closing side will give us the unknown. So with this basic knowledge, let me choose the reference plane. So this is the plane diagram which is given in the question for us. Now either I can choose L as the reference plane or I can choose M as the reference plane. Any one among these 2 can be chosen as the reference plane. If I choose L as the reference plane, distance of L from plane L is 0. So therefore here I should put 0, 0 and anything will become 0. So it will be completely eliminated in couple polygon. So therefore closing side will give us the unknown. In the same manner I can take M as well as the reference plane. If I take M as a reference plane, M6 will be eliminated from the couple polygon. So therefore I can find the value of M5 and its direction. So anyhow we can take L or M as a reference plane. As much as possible I should keep positive values. As I said, coming for the sense of rotation or direction, always positive angles are measured in counterclockwise direction from positive x-axis. Negative angles are measured as clockwise. So here all the angles are positive, hence I measured in counterclockwise direction from positive x-axis. In the same manner, distance measured towards right side are taken as positive, distance measured from a reference point towards left are taken as negative. So therefore if I go for M6 or plane M as a reference plane, then more negatives will come into picture. So therefore I will go with plane L. If I go with plane L, only one negative will come into picture, remaining all will become positive dimensions. I repeat, for length, always the length measured towards right hand side from a reference point is taken as positive. The length measured towards left from a reference point is considered to be negative. So therefore I will go for plane L. I will get more number of positive values. So hence choose L as the reference plane. Hope you understood and also understood how to choose the reference plane. And choosing the reference plane is not always constant. So choosing the reference plane is not always goes in the same manner how I discussed now. It varies from problem to problem. You will get better understanding how to choose the reference plane when we proceed forward and discuss varieties of problems. So for this problem, as I said, one hint is that always we should choose the reference plane such a way that the unknown will be eliminated. So now I have taken plane L as a reference plane. So mass M5 will come into picture in the reference plane. So distance of reference plane from plane L is 0. Correct? Now from the reference plane, the distance of plane 1 will be 300. So it will be 300. Now distance is measured towards left hand side. So therefore it should be negative. Very, very important. Now from the reference plane to plane 2, the distance is plus 300. Now to plane 3, it will be 300 plus 1200, that is 1500. Now from the reference plane to plane 4, it will be 24 minus 6 is 18, 18 plus 3 is 21, that is 2100. Now from plane L to plane M, the distance will be, this is 1200 plus 300 will be 1200 plus 300 plus this distance is also 300, which is 1800. So I have measured the distance of the planes from the reference plane. Distances measured towards right side are taken as positive, measured towards left side are taken as negative. Hope you clearly understood. So now complete the tabular column. It will be 20,000 into 300, that is turning out to be 6 into 10 to the power of 6. Next we have 35,000 into 300, that is 10.5 into 10 to the power of 6. This is negative, very, very important. Next we have 40,000 into 1500, that is 60 into 10 to the power of 6. Next we have 25,000 into 2100, that is 52.5 into 10 to the power of 6. This will become 0, so this is turning out to be 600 into 1800, that is m6 times 1.08 into 10 to the power of 6 into. So this completes the tabular column. This is how you should solve. Next, if you observe the couple polygon table, we have only one magnitude as well as one direction is unknown. So there are two unknowns in couple polygon, so therefore I should go for couple polygon first. So let us complete the problem. If I go for couple polygon, I should choose suitable scale. Next is step D, that is couple polygon. If I go for couple polygon, choosing a suitable scale, we have 1 centimeter can be taken as the highest value is 60. I want this must be equal to 10 centimeters. So therefore if I equate this equal to 10 centimeters, then I will get 1 centimeter is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 6 kg mm square. So divide everything by scale. This is a shortcut which I will usually use to fix the scale. So fixing the scale is not constant, it varies from person to person. Always choose scale as small as possible in order to minimize the error. What I will do is that I will choose the maximum value in the column, equate it to 10 centimeter and find out what is the value of 1 centimeter and take it as a scale. Here the maximum value is 60 into 10 to the power of 6. So 60 into 10 to the power of 6 is equal to 10 centimeters. How much is for 1 centimeter? For 1 centimeter it will be 6 into 10 to the power of 6. So if I divide, so this will become 1 centimeter. This will become 1 centimeter. Next we have 10.5 by 6, which is 1.75 centimeter. This will become 10 centimeters, and this will become 52.5 divided by 6, that is 8.75 centimeters. 8.75 centimeter. So this is in terms of centimeter. Divide this value by scale, you will get it in centimeters. Now I can go for polygon. So first one is 1 centimeter negative. For mass 1, the angle is 0 degree. Since it is negative, I should measure the angle from clockwise direction from the negative x-axis. Kindly make a note, which is very important. So therefore I should go in negative direction. So go in negative direction 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter in negative direction. Done. Let us take this as O, this as A. 1 centimeter in negative direction, so therefore it is 180 degrees. Now go for 1.75 centimeter, angle is 75 degrees. So this is positive, so therefore I should measure the angle in counterclockwise direction. So end of one is the beginning for another. At the end, keeping at point A, measure 75 degrees. Measure 75 degrees. 75. So here I have 75 degrees. And the length is 1.75. At an angle of 75 degrees, I should go for 1.75 centimeters. Okay, done. I have drawn 1.75. B. Angle is 75 degrees. Next we have 10 centimeter. Angle is 135 degrees from M1. 135 degrees from M1. measure 135 degrees positive. So here I have 135 degrees and the length is 10 centimeters. Done. Angle is 135 degrees. See, now we have at an angle of 240 degrees 8.75 centimeter, that is it will be 180. 240 minus 180 is 60, so I should draw 60 degrees. So here I have 60 degree, this will be 240, dimension is 8.75, draw 8.75 centimeters. Okay, I have drawn 8.75 centimeters at an angle of 240 degrees. Done. At an angle of 240 degrees I have drawn 8.5 centimeters. Now we know that the closing side should be the answer. So this is the closing side, and where I should join from D I should join for O, the starting point, not for A. So join from D to O, that completes the problem. So join from D to O. D to O is the answer, that is D to O must be equal to m6 into 1.08 into 10 to the power of 6. So therefore if I measure D to O, you can see D to O is measuring 12 centimeters. Therefore the solution is m6 into 1.08 into 10 to the power of 6 must be equal to what? Line length DO into scale, that is m6 should be equal to what? M6 should be equal to 12 centimeters into scale is 6 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 1.08 into 10 to the power of 6. Hence m6 is equal to, m6 will be 12 into 6 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 1.08 into 10 to the power of 6, which is 66.666. It is recurring, so hence I can take it as 66.67 kg. So m6 is 66.67 kg. So m6 is rolling in plane M, and also I should specify the angle theta 6. So theta 6 will be, we know that from here to here it is 180 plus 180 plus it is showing 175, 180 plus 175 it is 355. So answer is 355 degrees. That is from the positive x-axis, if I measure counterclockwise it will be 355 degrees. So always remember, angle measured counterclockwise is taken as positive, angle measured clockwise is taken as negative, or you can also state it as minus 5 degree, plus 355 degree or minus 5 degree. Next, we have obtained the mass m6. So we know m6. Now if you observe, we know direction and magnitude of m6. Hence in force polygon we have only two unknowns, that is m5 and its direction. So if I use m6 value, which I got as 66.6666 into 600, I'll get the answer as 40,000. So now this has been solved. So this is turning out to be 40,000. 40,000. Now if I solve for force polygon, I will get the answer of m5 and its direction. So let us go for force polygon now. That is, in step E, I will go for force polygon. If I go for force polygon, let us fix the scale. That is 1 centimeter. Let me take the highest value here is 40,000. So if I equate 40,000 to 10 centimeter, I will get 1 centimeter is equal to 4,000. 4,000 kgmm. So I equated the maximum value 40,000 to 10 centimeter, then 1 centimeter will be equal to 4,000. So now divide everything by 4,000. If I divide everything by 4,000, these two will be 10 centimeters. This and this will be 10 centimeters. 20,000 by 4,000 will be 5 centimeters. Next we have 35,000 by 35,000 divided by 4,000, which is 8.75 centimeters. And we have 25,000 divided by 4,000 scale, which is 6.25 centimeters. 6.25 centimeters. So to avoid confusion, let me write it in white chalk itself. This is minus 300 plus 300, 1,500. 2,100, 0, 1,800. Let me maintain uniformity. Use orange chalk only when I want to overwrite. Now we know the magnitudes as well as their directions. So first one is m1, which is 5 centimeter, angle is 0 degree. So let us start the force polygon. So at 0 degree, draw m1, which is 5 centimeters. Done. I drawn 5 centimeters. O, A. Next we have 8.75 centimeters at an angle of 75 degrees. Now at an angle of 75 degrees, I should draw 8.75 centimeters. Draw 8.75 centimeters. Drawn 8.75 centimeters at an angle of 75 degree. Let us take it as point B. This angle is 75 degrees. Next, at an angle of 135 degree, I should draw 10 centimeters. Measure 135 degree. (10 centimeters). Done. This is C and the angle is 135 degree positive. Now 6.25 centimeters at an angle of 240 degree. 240 minus 180 is 60. So from C, measure 60 degree. Measured. length is 6.25. Draw 6.25 centimeters. Drawn. Next we have 10 centimeter at an angle of 355 degrees. That is, just you draw minus 5 degree. Next we have minus 5 degrees. Minus 5 degree. Length is 10 centimeters. So it will intersect the sketch. Drawn. Whereas this angle from positive x-axis will be 355 degrees, which we have here, and the length is 10 centimeters. Now the closing side should be the answer. So if I close this, this is now if I measure E to O is measuring 11.7 centimeters. E to O is measuring 11.7 centimeters. This must be equal to the unknown. So therefore 600 m5 must be equal to line length E to O into scale. So therefore mass m5 will be equal to 11.7 centimeters into scale is 4000 divided by 600. Hence m5 will be 11.7 into 4000 divided by 600, which is 78 kgs. Which is 78 kg. Now coming for angle theta 5. So if I measure the angle theta 5, we know from here to horizontal is 180. I'll measure 180 plus how much? 180 plus 50. 180 plus 50 I can take. 180 plus 50 will be 230. So angle is 230 degrees. Measured counterclockwise at E. Measured counterclockwise at E. At E, if I measure counterclockwise, it will be 230 degrees. So this is the complete solution for our problem number 1. We have found out that the balancing masses which are rolling at plane L and M are, at plane L mass M5 is 78 kg at an angle of 230 degree, and at plane M it is mass M6 66.67 kg at an angle of 355 degree. That's all from this lecture. Thank you all.